The attachments in Battlefield 2042 have seen some pretty drastic changes after update 4.0. That was actually one of the biggest sort of sections of that update, was that they've pretty much overhauled the attachment system. And today I wanted to essentially go through all of the attachments, or all of the main attachments anyway, and firstly just kind of check if they are doing what they're meant to do, because obviously that was one of the things that was a bit of an issue in the past. Certain attachments weren't working the way that they said they were meant to. So we're going to be quickly testing that, and then I'm just going to also quickly show you kind of the differences between each attachment now, so that you guys can get a quick idea of which are the best attachments. Now, I have already done essentially like full attachment breakdowns in the past for every single different type of attachment, and obviously this update may have essentially rendered those videos completely useless. So if you guys do want me to sort of follow up on this video and go a bit more in depth, because today's video it's not going to be super in depth, I'm just going to quickly show you guys the difference. But if you want me to go fully in depth on each different attachment type, testing across different weapons in each different scenario rather than just a simple static shot like I'm doing in this video, then definitely let me know down in the comments. I'm pretty much just going to gauge that by how many comments you guys leave. So if you're keen to see full attachment breakdowns after the update, then definitely let me know down below. But with that being said, let's get stuck right into it. So today, like I said, we're going to be quickly testing all of the attachment changes. I'm only going to be testing the M5A3, and I'm really only going to be testing like the underbarrel grips, for example. I'm not going to really go through all of the like grenade launchers and stuff like that. This is mostly just going to be focusing on the more commonly used attachments, just to give a sort of quick overview. So keep in mind this isn't 100% in depth. I have found a few in here that are a little bit different to what they say that they're meant to do, and I think there's still enough useful information in this video. So I will be testing both the barrel attachments, the underbarrel attachments, and then I'll also just show a quick difference between the ammo types as well, at least like I said, just for the M5A3. So firstly, we're going to be testing the underbarrel attachments simply because they are the ones that have pretty much been affected the most by these changes. And what you can see here is the factory underbarrel, the BCG light grip, the rattlesnake grip, the LWG grip, and the Cobra grip. So as you can see from this footage here, the middle one, which is the rattlesnake light grip, which is the one that in the past I've always said that's pretty much the best underbarrel attachment across all weapons. In the past that changed your accuracy while moving, but they have actually changed that to increase your hip fire accuracy while also reducing your aim down sights accuracy. Now, as you can see, I do believe that that isn't actually working as intended, because there is very clearly less recoil on that attachment. What I will say is that I do actually think the aim down sights accuracy decrease that it's actually saying in the attachment, that does look to be the case, because that is definitely a little bit less accurate than the ones on either side of it. Just to clarify, when I say accurate, I mean not with the recoil, but the bullets are obviously spreading a little bit more to the left and the right on that middle shot. You can see the one to the left, which is the BCG light grip, that does have more recoil, but you can clearly see that that is a little bit more accurate with where the bullets are spreading. And so yeah, it does seem that the rattlesnake light grip is either bugged or they've maybe just put the wrong description for it. I'm not too sure, but that definitely still seems to me like that is the best attachment. However, like I said, this is just tested on one weapon, and it's also just tested from one single spray. So if you guys want me to completely go in depth and actually test different scenarios and different weapons as well, be sure to let me know, because obviously, like I said, I do believe the tests I've done in this video are correct, because just going by previous videos where I've done the same type of testing, attachments don't seem too drastically different between each weapon. And despite all the bugs in the game, I don't think there are actually that many bugs in terms of just like every now and then it will change the way that the pattern happens or anything like that. So like I said, I can go more in depth, but I still do think that this video is technically still correct. So what I'll say from that is that the rattlesnake still to me seems like it is the best underbarrel attachment, or I would probably say also the BCG light grip. If you guys have good recoil control, that obviously has a lot more accuracy. So those two are probably the best in my opinion, but if you guys want to see more in-depth breakdowns, then I'll definitely be sure to do that. Now, moving on from the underbarrel attachments, we do also have the barrel attachments. So what I've done here is I've just gone through every single barrel attachment. I've got all of the regular barrels, as in the factory barrel, the extended barrel, and the shortened barrel. There's then also the tactical compensator, the Warhawk compensator, and the Archon. And then lastly was the champion muzzle brake and both of the suppressors in the wrap suppressor and the 6KU suppressor. Now, obviously with the M5A3, I didn't get to test heavier suppressors. So like I said, if you guys want more breakdowns, I'll be sure to do that in a future video. But what I will say about all of these different barrel attachments is that they all essentially seem to be doing exactly what they say they do in their descriptions. At the end of the day, they're all actually really similar. You can see here in the sort of comparison, they all look pretty pretty similar to each other, so there's not any drastic differences. Obviously the actual barrels, so the shortened barrel and the extended barrel, they do change rate of fire, so there are some, you know, pretty drastic differences there. But in terms of the others, and at least in terms of the recoil and the accuracy of these different barrel attachments, they all seem to be pretty similar, and they all seem to be doing what they say they do. So there doesn't seem to be a clear best, at least from these tests anyway. And what I'll say about these is that you can at least trust what the description says, so just base that off what you want those attachments to do. If you want a little bit less horizontal recoil, then go for that attachment. If you want a faster rate of fire, go for the shortened barrel, for example. It's actually seeming to be pretty accurate, at least when it comes to the barrel attachments. Now, just quickly, we have the different ammunition types as well. Again, for the M5A3, it doesn't have every single one in the game, but it does still have 5 different options, or technically 6, but one of those is just the extended mag, so that's not going to change the actual recoil pattern or anything like that. But for the M5, it has the standard rounds, the close combat rounds, the high powered rounds, the subsonic rounds, and then the anti-armor rounds. Now, before I go any further, obviously the two that look shorter there in terms of the recoil, they just have less bullets, so obviously that looks like the recoil pattern is a lot better, but that's just simply because I stopped shooting faster because there was less ammo, and that obviously means that the recoil pattern looks smaller, but it isn't. They're all pretty much the same. They all look really similar, and essentially what I found from these is that, again, they all seem to be doing pretty much exactly what the description says. For me personally, I think the close combat rounds for the M5A3 is easily the best. They seem to be just absolutely dominant, and for me, I run the shortened barrel and the close combat rounds. It gives you a crazy rate of fire, and as you can see, it looks still pretty accurate there. So personally, for the M5 anyway, I would say that the close combat rounds are the best, but just like the barrel attachments, these at least are trustable. The underbarrel attachments, like I said, we do have a bit of an outlier there with the rattlesnake-like grip. It seems to be a little bit inaccurate in terms of the description, but when it comes to your ammo types, they seem to be completely accurate through their description. So hopefully that helps you guys when it comes to choosing your loadouts. Like I said, if you guys want me to go more in depth, be sure to let me know, and I'll be sure to go through all of that like I have in those previous videos. But at least for a quick overview, this is just a quick little look at what has actually changed. What I will be doing is essentially going and redoing all of the weapon breakdowns that I've done. I probably won't do them in the same order, so I'll get to them eventually, but the attachments in this game are actually quite a bit different now across the board. They're not drastically different on their own, but when you know, try different things together, they do all start to add up, and they actually make the weapons feel a lot different than they did in update 3.3. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. Like I said, a very basic look at these changes. This isn't the most in-depth testing or anything like that, but it gives you a quick look at all those changes. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below, and if you guys are new to the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. If you want to support the content that I make here on YouTube, then do consider becoming a channel member. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.